Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is Shooter Scott Henderson, and we are going to go over swing trade notes. Of course, at the end of our presentation, please do review our disclosure. Now, just chatting about the markets for a little bit, I really can't see us backing off here. However, as I'm going through all the stuff that I look at over the weekend, clearly there's a little more exuberance than we really should have on a Trump buck across the board. So that said, be cautious on your position size. That's my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. All right, so let's jump into swing trade notes. Now, last week we sort of were, I still landed with a gain, but I consider it flat, considering the week before. I always look at it that way. Booked about $4 to the upside, mainly because we had a decent sized position in Nvidia compared to a smaller size in SMCI. So position size, basically kept me green. Otherwise, I'd been flat or red. So that's the thought. Now, this week we have quite a little bit of earning. We're going to call this crypto week because we have quite a number. We have Hive, Hut 8, Bitfarms, which, by the way, was a very large block of 525 $4 calls bought. So that might be. Also, we got plugs. So the Kava is another one. Shop, Soundhound, which we will be closing out either tomorrow or Tuesday morning. I have not decided for sure. We put that on last week. Then we got JD and Walt Disney, Applied Materials, and then AST Space. Oh, now I ended up not closing my position because I didn't get filled. So we are still holding those $40 calls. So we will decide what we're doing the first of the week, whether we're moving anything or not, or just sitting on it. So that's a look. All right, this week, we're trying to shift to the Russell 3000s just because we're having too much limited upside and there's sort of a box that we want to stay in with fundamental trends. So this week is sort of that effort. However, I will say this, much more challenging setup. So, we want to make sure we give them a little time. So DKNG, 50% back on my golden box, 48.59. Nice candle, nice push, nice volume push here. Look at the size of that candle down there. I just like it. Now, as a general thesis, reducing position size and running a 50% trailing stop is what I'm going to recommend we do through the rest of the year. You decide on your position size. I'm just scaling back about 10% because I've had a decent year. So, if I lose the rest of the trades for the year, it's not going to hurt, to be very candid. So now I like a shotgun approach here. January 42, January 45, and January 50 call. Reason is because there's a good chance it gets up to the 61.8. Nice candle, so we get another decent candle. We get a third candle here, so 2 weeks out. This should be done if it's going to pump. Now, again, I'm going to suggest that you, of course, double check earnings. I didn't notice if DKNG had earnings. I'm not recalling it right this second. I more than likely look, but I don't have it noted on there. Now, Nvidia, I like this again for another entry. I would love it to get a flush, but the FOMO is going to get me. I already tell you it's going to, because it's just too pretty of a look to the upside. And we got boo-koodles of November 20th, $170 calls. So just, looking at the way our wave is, our 5 is way the heck up here, about 173 as far as the extension. We could clearly get up there. Now, my rule always is, the reason I like this, above the 78.6, what are we looking for? The golden box. So I like the November 160 calls. You can do December. You can go out and do some of the 165s or 170s. Really going to depend on how much you like to mix up your bag a little bit. But that's my thought. I still like it to the upside. Still my favorite call this week, believe it or not. Now, TSN, Tyson Food. Russell's 3000. It is a 50% back candidate to 62.21. We have January 62.50 calls. You could do December's, but I'm going to be conservative and give this a little time. Again, run a 50% trailing stop. Now, I liked Halo for a breakout. However, the option stunk. But because of the lack of other names, I included it as a common share here. So by common, you're looking for about 67 bucks, so about $7 to the upside, and roughly at 60 bucks when I drafted this. And we could very well push to the 123.6, maybe to 78, with a little more FOMO. The micro and macro on this is, I guess they have a number of decent stuff in the pipeline as well. So I just like the concept. I needed something to fill the bank, and nice safe trade, I think, to the upside. Well, that's what we have for this week, folks. Great trading. Until next time.